Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second ever episode of Canine Corner, brought to you by FOP. I am your host, Eli Grasham, and here are my two favorite people in the entire school, Carlos Lopez, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, and Edwin Wayne Scott. Woo!
Come on, he's
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
70
yeah.
points for what?
They make up the kennel over here, and I thought we'd get it kicked off today by talking about our local Indianapolis Colts. So, bringing up the Indianapolis Colts, big win this weekend. Big win.
Big one. Obviously, as we can see.
Yeah, I mean,
Overtime win over a 2-0 team early in the season. A team with a backup quarterback. Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew showed out. It was amazing. And you know who also showed out? This gentleman right here, Matt Gay.
That's why we pay him the big bucks. He just got paid, just signed with the Colts this year.
And dropped 4 50-yard bombs. That's amazing.
It was like 15 points on fantasy he had for me.
That's amazing.
It's really great.
I've never played fantasy, but let me tell you that
You gotta
that's
play.
it.
I'm telling you, gotta play.
I'm more into the basketball fantasy.
No one likes basketball fantasy. That's hard to understand.
And sticking to football, we have to bring up the history that was made on Sunday. The Dolphins putting 70 points on the Broncos. Look at this. They even did a little dance. Look at them.
Absolutely smoked them.
That was honestly probably one of the greatest performances that I have seen from a football team.
Or the worst performances you've seen from a football team.
Yeah, from the Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, they still put up 20 against, the Dolphins like JV team if there was JV in the pros, their practice squad.
I think they started after 60 points. I think they started playing the JV team.
Yeah, even you look at Mike White, their backup QB, he's still got a touchdown, like a 60-yard touchdown. Like there was nothing that the Broncos could do to stop them. It was amazing.
It just shows how dominant the Dolphins are.
Really does. I mean, but they're also humble. They had that opportunity to kick that field goal, to get tied with the record, and they chose not to. They decided, you know what, we won't make history today because we're a respectful team, and we know that. Let's just take a knee. Game's over. You're not going to come back.
Well, I don't know how much respect was there because Mike McDaniels was in the stands.
Well, of course we don't like to believe that. Unfortunately, it was an impersonator, but if he was in the stands, I totally believe it. I love Mike McDaniels. He's so funny to me. Such a goofy guy.
One of a kind.
Yeah, you see those press conferences where he's up there and he's just talking and talking and talking, and he says some funny stuff. All right, well, now I have the pleasure of introducing you to esteemed teacher here and also our varsity baseball coach, and Andy Dudley. Here,
Eli, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, if you'll just take the seat here. So how you doing today?
I'm good.
You're good? That's
Yeah,
good to hear.
happy to be here.
Happy to have you here.
Are
So
you happy to be here?
Well, I'm happy to be here. I don't know if I'm happy to be here yet. We'll see how things go.
So successful season this year, this last year, I suppose.
Yeah,
Successful season. How you
great
feeling?
run at the end. The most fun thing was that everything wasn't real smooth this season, but great group of guys that really worked all year to keep moving forward, even when things didn't go well all the time early on in the season, and put ourselves in a position to make a tournament run. And yeah, we had a blast. Great group of guys to do it with.
And especially with Carlos on that team, right?
Yeah, he's fine too.
I don't think he contributed that much.
Well, we know, talking of baseball, that you played for IUPUI, and we also heard that you led the nation in a very interesting statistic in your time there.
Yeah. So I was a late convert to pitching. I came up as a catcher. So, and the reason I was moved, I threw hard. So I was still working on some things. And one thing to overcome, maybe not having great secondary pitches, is I had to throw inside a lot. So I don't know how knowledgeable you are about the game of baseball, but one thing you can do to make hitters uncomfortable is to throw in on them. So I led the nation in hit batsman my senior year of college. So I guess it's it's something, you know. It's something
Yeah.
to be known for.
Do you know how many you had?
I think 36, but I'm not sure.
36.
I think so. At this point, the story might have been blown up. I don't know, but yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
All right. Well, also talking about baseball, but more locally here at Frankfurt. Now, if the school gave you the money to hire any extra position for the team, what would that person do? What would you have that person do?
That person would prepare that field for every game, man. That's I love coaching. I love being around the guys, but you know, doing it for 20 some years, man. If we could have a guy that got that field ready for us every game, then that would be awesome.
Really is. I mean, I know that you get out there and do it all on your own. I'm sure that another person would be useful.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everybody does what they can. We've got, you know, I've got assistant coaches, and you know, the players get out there and do work and things. But yeah, that's just part of it.
Maybe Los will offer up some of his time, go out there and help.
Yeah, we've gotten him out there a little bit. We'll get him doing some work this year.
Remember sophomore year? Was it sophomore year or junior year? They got those metal poles.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty bad. I
yeah.
didn't not like that.
Now, this is more on my side of things. We talked a lot about baseball, and now we're going to talk about something more in my department. We heard that you were in a play in high school. Can you tell us about that?
Honestly, so my brother was in the theater. He loved, you know, he acted, you know, he was more of a literary kind of a guy, had an English major in college. I was obviously more the nerdy math guy. And so I went to a small high school. There weren't a lot of guys to choose from. And at the last minute, the one of the secondary parts in the play got in trouble. I think got expelled. And they were kind of emergency. So they thought, well, I mean, Kyle Dudley's little brother's here. Maybe we could get him to do it. So I kind of got thrown in. I can honestly tell you, I don't remember the name of the play or anything about my part. It was, I took the opportunity, got to do it one time. It was, I mean, it was cool. It was good to do something different, you know, having been more of an athlete, playing 3 sports and things like that. So, but I couldn't tell you anything about that play, to be honest with you.
You might not be able to tell us the details, but could you tell us a bit about like how it felt to be on stage? Do you remember that?
I remember it being terrifying. And I mean, and, you know, like I said, small school in a little cafeteria, you know, with some parents and a few random students. And I just remember thinking, I can't imagine doing this all the time. You know, it's not like in sports, it's live theater, but it's, you know, you play a bunch of games. That's one performance, you know, things don't go well. That's it. That's the whole thing. And it's on film, you know, in 1995, nobody was filming our games. So, you know, things don't go well. It's like you wake up the next day, you move on, whatever. But man, yeah, that was rough. I got a lot of respect for you guys to get out there every season and do that.
Yeah. So we a little birdie told us about a little secret that you and the staff have called the Sandwich Club. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, back in the glory days of Frankfurt High School, the teaching staff, I don't, it started with just a conversation about different things we make at our houses. And I think there was like an argument over the right way to make a grilled cheese sandwich or something. So we decided we'd have a little competition, and I'd make a particular grilled cheese sandwich. We have called it the Dudley style grilled cheese sandwich.
How do you make it?
So we go, it's really important. It's got to be sourdough bread. You want something that'll get a little crust on it, a little chew to it, something big, you know, and you want to slice it yourself. We go a medium cheddar cheese. There's got to be honey mustard dressing, and then slices of green apple, and it's magical.
Did you ever?
Oh, so
That's
good.
crazy.
Sweet, sour. You got to butter the bread. You got to use salted butter, and you got to grill it. I'm telling you, it's magical.
So have you ever won this competition?
Well, so here's the thing. The person doesn't win the competition. The sandwiches win.
Has the Dudley?
So the Dudley made the Final Four. But
Out of how many though?
the big upset was the Schumann Special one. So the Schumann Special is a hamburger, and again, I love like sauces and different flavors and things. So we stole it from, I can't remember, a restaurant's menu and kind of made it our own. But if you've never tried this, it's going to sound crazy, but a hamburger, thin pattied, it's got to have peanut butter, it's got to have bacon, it's got to have jalapenos on it. It's magical.
That sounds like I'm pretty sure it's like animal style from Five Guys.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. So you get that sweet, that salty, again, the crunch of the bacon. So we did the tournament of sandwiches. So Sandwich Club every other Friday, we'd come in, we'd go all out, we'd make different sandwiches. And after we'd kind of run the gauntlet of all these different crazy sandwiches, we had a tournament and we drew up the big bracket. And it was, I think we ended up choosing 16 of the sandwiches, and each week 2 sandwiches would face off until we got to the championship round the last week of school. And each time we'd do all the sandwiches, and then the club would vote, see who won.
Well, all right, that was certainly entertaining, but I must say that we got to get to the Fast Five right after this brief break.
Aaron's Flooring, a family-owned business and your number one source for all things floors. We're dedicated to providing a wide selection of the best products. Aaron's Flooring has flooring experts on hand to help you determine your next steps in the buying experience. For all your retail and commercial flooring needs, we have products to help achieve the look and feel you desire. Stop into our Frankfort showroom to view our wide selection of the highest quality products and services. Contact us today for a free in-home estimate and let us turn your house into a home.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I can't talk right now, but here's the Fast Five, and me and Eddie are gonna go at it. So
Hey, I just want to say, I've spent a lot of time with Carlos. First time I've ever heard that. Go ahead.
it is not the first time.
All right, so we're gonna start it off. What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, man. I'm going to say Thanksgiving.
What's the fictional band you and Mr. Taylor were in?
Oh, man. Extraneous Solution.
All right, if you knew that every time you chopped off a finger, you would win a state title, how many fingers would you chop off?
2.
What was more important, us making the semi-state or the birth of your kids?
Oh. The birth of my kids, for sure.
Appreciate
All
that.
right, last one. What's your social security number?
7.
7.
I'm pretty old.
I don't think it's 7.
Well, that was certainly really interesting. I mean, I've never seen a social security number of 7. That's a miracle.
Well,
But
Again, I've been around a long time. So.
okay. So now we have to go to the studio for our extra special director's question.
Hello, welcome to the control room. My name is Taylor, and I'm going to hand you off to Addison for the director's question.
Mr. Dudley, we know you've been working here for a really long time, and we just wanted to ask, if you could bring back one staff member you've ever worked with, who would you bring back and why?
All right. So that question, if you could bring back any old FHS teacher, who and why?
Oh, man. So if you've been around, you're going to get this. But without a doubt, Dale Snoddy. HDTV's very own Dale Snoddy. And you've got, I'll do the best I can to explain why, but the guy was just hilarious. He was intense. He was fun. He ran a tight ship down. He's the grandfather of Hot Dog TV, back before anybody was doing this kind of stuff. He got all this stuff rolling, and so, but he was fun in the teacher's lounge. He was a stand-up comedian, quirky dude. Nobody really knows Dale Snoddy, but we all kind of knew Dale Snoddy. Just a fun guy. And I think he just brought so much to the table that nobody else did. I without a doubt, Dale would be the guy to bring back.
Well, that's very interesting to hear. Thank you so much for coming on today. We were really happy to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You answered some great questions.
Fellas,
there.
thank you.
Did they practice today?
Yes.
Well,
Weather pending.
Well, that has been this episode of Canine Corner. We really
Took a
thank
little bit.
you. We thank FOP for sponsoring this episode. And last but certainly not least, we thank Andy Dudley and all of the admin out there who are letting this happen. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Shout out Taylor.